Letters turn into words, and words turn into sentences, and sentences turn into books that fill the libraries. This is Go Island. I'm Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We are in Powell River today at the library. It is in the basement of the town hall, has been for 50 years. That's a very long time. This coming Saturday, there is a referendum that you get to decide where they move to. Well, not where they move to, but when they get to move. Hopefully soon, because you've been benefiting for 50 years from the library and all that they have to offer. Amazing services and programs for children of all ages, 0 to 99. So coming up in today's show, a little bit of everything, but we are going to start in the Comox Valley with this. Dauntless, the enduring John Alden designed stay-sail schooner. Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Ruth Harris. We're on location at the Powell River Library, catching up on some reading. Classic boat. How appropriate for being in Powell River on the Sunshine Coast in their library. They've been here for 50 years. Now, coming up on Saturday, there is a referendum with regards to borrowing money so that they can move into a much larger, more modern space to accommodate the growing population of Powell River and all of the expansive services that the library has to offer. They're definitely looking forward to it. And I would think that most of Powell Riverans would be too. So this is a really good book. So that's the great thing about coming to the library is you can sit in these amazingly comfortable chairs, read a magazine, a book. You can listen to an audiobook, listen to music. They have so many choices of what you can do here at the library. Now, right now, we are going to check in with Marjorie over in Campbell River to see what she's up to today. I'm Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4. Joining me is Terry Nareau from the Powell River Library. We are here in the basement of City Hall, right?
Yes.
Essentially. How long have you guys been here?
We've been here 50 years.
50 years, the library's been in the basement of City Hall.
It has.
All right. Now you have a plan.
We have a plan. We've got a referendum coming up this weekend, which will approve moves to new space that's about 3 times larger than this space.
Okay. Now you must be inspired by some of the library builds that are happening around the world, like Halifax recently completed, and you were just telling me Calgary's been approved for a big new fancy modern library.
Yes.
How jealous are you right now?
We're very jealous of their beautiful buildings, but we're even more jealous of the space they have for delivering programs, because a modern library is about more than the books you see behind you here. Mm-hmm. It's about the programs we deliver that help with literacy, that help kids learn how to read, that help the people with lifelong learning. And to do that, we really need space. And we're the second smallest library in British Columbia per capita.
Wow. You know, I was just reading yesterday that 10% of the world's population is dyslexic, but there's a new approach to helping people with dyslexia to read, as well as a new dictionary that they're working on that's going to be defined by meaning, not by word.
I just saw that results too, and they have a brand new fonts that are supposed to help dyslexics read better, and a new way for approaching. So I think that's an important thing because so many kids suffer from that and have trouble with learning to read, which in today's world is an essential skill for almost anything.
For sure. Now, after the weekend, you will know if the referendum has passed or not. So assuming that it passes, what's the next step?
So our next steps is actually to work with the developer on the design of the building. So we got to actually say, how are we going to lay out the space? What are the furnishings we're going to buy? And what kind of programs do we want to offer in it to get an exact idea? Once that's done, the developer can go away and start doing the construction. Okay,
and of course it'll be fully digital.
We have hopefully 3 to 4 times more technology than we have today.
Okay.
Right today, all of our, through most of the afternoon and the early evening, all our computers are busy and there's a waiting line. When you look at the statistics, half of the people that live below the poverty level the library is their only access to the internet.
Okay,
And you can't really function in today's society without access to the internet.
right. Okay, well, good luck on Saturday with
Thank
the
you.
referendum, and we will follow up with you in a couple of weeks to see what the next steps are. And we'd like to continue to follow this project, because this is extraordinary. After 50 years in the basement of City Hall, you get to move.
We'll be happy to move.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time today, Terry.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. '17th and 18th century art, Baroque and Rococo. I love coming to libraries. There are things here that you just wouldn't imagine. And then it's a whole adventure of discovery. It is fantastic. So we are in Powell River today at the library in the basement of City Hall. We had an interview earlier with Terry, who's the head librarian, and coming up right after this next story, we're going to talk to the Child Services Coordinator. But right now, we're going to have a look at this. We are in the children's area of the Powell River Library, and joining me is Deb Wagwin, who is the Children's Services Coordinator. Now, Deb, what are some of the programs that you offer for children?
We offer in-house story time, we offer outreach story time, we do special workshops. For example, a couple of weeks ago we gave a mask making workshop
Oh, cool.
to 250 kids.
What?
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Where'd you put them?
Not in here, in the Cranberry Hall. And it was
okay.
like constant people coming, people
Yeah.
going, and the masks they took out were fabulous.
Unbelievable.
Pre-Halloween, of course.
Of course, yeah. No, that is awesome. Now, what are the ages of the children that you typically work with? How young and up to what age?
I work with kids from babies, preschool mostly, and then I do middle school kids as well for my workshops.
Oh, okay.
I span the ages from probably babyhood to 13.
Oh, okay,
Here.
great. Now, I notice a lot of really great colorful posters in here, and a really big selection for such a small library you have. I mean, you are crammed in here. Terry was saying earlier that it's the smallest per capita in British Columbia, but yet you have such a broad selection. You must really get creative with where to put the books.
That's a challenge in here. And where to put the bodies when you do story time in this room as well. I mean, I think probably the most wonderful thing is that we can look forward to, hopefully, a library with windows that open. We have this great selection of posters around here simply because we haven't got windows, so we're forced to look inward at the collection itself. And we do our very best to make it a good collection here. We'll be able to have so much more in a bigger space.
Now, when you have the younger kids, how many kids do you typically have at your story time?
Well, we've had up to about 40 kids in this room for story
Wow.
time, which is not comfortable.
No, I would say not.
But usually our story time is between 20 and 30, which is
Okay.
well attended, actually.
That is very well attended.
Yeah.
And do you get lots of mums and grandparents bringing them
Yes.
down and interacting?
Yeah.
And how long is your story time typically?
It's about half an hour, which is about as long as kids can sit.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I've got a wonderful group, I can extend it a little bit more than that. But mostly it's
Yeah.
20 minutes to half an hour.
Oh, okay. And do you have different age groups that come in for story time, or do you do different programs for different age groups?
Most of my story times are preschool story times.
Okay.
The ones that I do that are outreach story times, I travel as far as Lund, and
Oh,
I
okay.
do, some schools that have preschool, kindergarten situations that really
Oh,
want
okay.
a good story time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, that's great. So if people wanted you to come, they would just call the library and say, we need a story time here. Come on out.
Well, we'll put them in line for it. We have not as, we wish we had a better space to bring them in-house. And as far as the outreach story time, there's only one of me, so I do my best.
You need a clone. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today all the great things you're offering here for children. And we're going to take a short break, but we will be right back after these messages. Island at the moment is in the reference library part of the Powell River Library. This whole area is the reference books, like encyclopedias and this great A to Z research guide about the world. Now, Terry was saying that these Britannica encyclopedias that I fondly remember from my school age is that they will be disappearing because now people, if they want to know anything, they Google it. If they want to know about birds or penguins or, you know, the tree outside or what kind of grass, they just Google it. They don't come to the library anymore. But it still is here right now in the hard copy. And if you think you have a question, come on down to the library, any library, and have a look in the reference section, and you'll be able to find the answer to your question. And right now, here's the answer to this question. What's up next? In your library, more than meets the eye. That is definitely the case in every library across the country, especially the new ones that have been built and that are being built. If you haven't seen the Halifax Library, you've got to go online and have a look at what they've been able to accomplish. It is otherworldly. And then Calgary's about to start a new project, and hopefully Powell River will be next on the list after this coming Saturday. As you can see, there is a bank of computers, but as Terry was saying earlier, they have a lineup on most afternoons to use them. They need expansion. They need to be able to provide you with more services and more programs. And Deb did a great job explaining all of the children's programs that they offer here at the library as well. So take advantage of what is here in Powell River for you. It is pretty impressive.
My favorite book.
Gord's favorite book, The First Cameraman. And yours will probably be The Last Cameraman. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you get out and vote this coming Saturday. Do not miss your opportunity to participate in our democracy. Signing off from the Powell River Library in the basement of City Hall, I'm Mary Ruth Harris for Shaw TV. Have a fabulous week. We'll see you on Friday.